Hello again, guys, and welcome back to the Columbia Grafonola Serviceola here. We are now rebuilding, well, we're continuing with that. We built our spring barrel, more or less, and we're continuing on from that point. So, if I get more oil out here, we're going to put our gears into place here. I'm just looking for the comically sized rivet. Oh, there it is. And we're going to stick this wheel, I believe this guy goes in here, and the other guy goes in the other spot. So, I'm going to grab another popsicle stick here, get some oil, and oil the actual side of this, because this hasn't been, oops, and I make sure I actually want to, actually, yes, I want to film what I'm doing here, viewers, not just do it like that. Sorry, viewers, I'm still getting kind of used to my iPhone 13 here. There we go, that has to be enough there. Stick that guy in there. Oh, we're not going in. Oh, yeah, we are. Alright, now we are in the spring barrel. Put him face down. Do the same with our ratchet here. Dab him with oil. More like smear it all over him, but anyway. Oh, and I'm also going to put oil here as well, because it's rubbing up against this area, and that's not good. We don't want a lot of friction with this thing. There we go. There it is. You guys are in. And I'm also going to oil this side here, under the actual gear wheel itself. I'm also going to oil inside there just a little bit. Alright. That is probably enough right there. Now we're going to oil this guy, which goes in the middle of all this stuff. 3 dabs there has to be adequate. And then we can just stick it in. Whoops, as all this stuff comes apart on me. There we go. So now that'll work however that works. I'm not really sure what keeps this in here. I think this guy goes into the, one of the pillars of the, I don't know what he does. Anyway, we're going to put that over there, because we are done with that for this moment here. Now, here's our phonograph again. I think I'm going to install the final speed control stuff. So, I think we can just add him in here, I think. I'm not even, or am I going the wrong way here? Maybe this, no, that doesn't go right. That's not right. There's more pieces that go with this, I know. I'm just trying to think of how it would all clamp together here. I think, does that go there? Does that look right, viewers? I don't know. I'm more talking about this here. Was it supposed to stick out like that? I don't know. I'm going to look back at my old videos. Okay, this guy definitely has a screw that goes right there. And here he is now, I think. I believe this is it. Right. And I haven't oiled this pivot yet for this guy. Oh. That's covered in hair, actually. Yeah, I mean, we clean stuff, but sometimes, arguably, possibly, maybe, kind of, it could have been cleaned a little bit better. There we go, wipe that off. I'm not so focused on cleaning screws. I mean, obviously, it's not bad to have them, like, or you don't want them, like, totally filthy everywhere. I don't know, is this guy supposed to move? I thought this thing was supposed to pivot around, or are these wheels supposed to pivot on this? Boy, oh boy, I don't know. Well, anyway, we're just going to leave it for now, because it looks like it doesn't pivot. The gear wheels and everything pivot on that. It doesn't pivot on the gear wheels, if that makes any sense. It doesn't pivot with them. It doesn't move with them. It's stationary. Okay, now we're going to add our pillar here. Yes, there is a pillar. This guy here. This is one of the more distinguished looking pieces here. I can tell which way goes where because this little pole here has a ratchet on it. And I don't know which way this ratchet goes. Oh, maybe it only goes on one. Okay, this guy only goes on one way. Okay. And how are we? Okay, I'm trying to figure out how this guy goes on here. I think it just goes in like that. Oh, yeah. Whoops. As I knock everything out of here. Alright, let's move that guy in there. I'm just making sure the ratchet is all lined up. There we go. There, that's it. All that right there. I'm not going to oil any of that yet. And I believe there's a screw. Actually, no, viewers, I did this wrong. There's the shaft for the crank here, which goes on. And that goes in here as well. I don't know what's making this thing. Oh, there's little sliders on here. Fine. Oh, and this thing's coming out now on the other side. Okay, let's try and keep that all lined up. And as you can see, I'm not oiling any of it quite yet. There we go. There we go. There it all is, right there as we start winding it. That's not what we want. We're going to wind it, but not yet. Okay, and I'm going to stick this on the other side. Oops. There we go. I'm just adjusting the stuff on the other side of this thing. There we go. There's our crank almost installed. There's a screw on the bottom that hooks, or not hooks it on, but screws it on. And there's also more of these guys, more of these railed. I think this guy has rails on him too. Yeah, he does. Oh, can you even see what I'm doing? That'd be bad if you couldn't. You know what? This guy actually has like a collet thing on him too, as I recall. Whoops, shoot. Yeah, you don't want to be dropping this stuff. Oh, this would not be easy to replace. Yeah, there's this crank here, or this thing has like that collet thing. And then, does this screw go on there? How does this work? I'm not entirely sure at the moment, viewers. As for this screw here, viewers, I grabbed it off the side over here because, remember, I don't know if you remember now, but a part or two ago, there was a random screw that went nowhere and did nothing, so I just stuck it there. I don't think it's going to add any sort of difference to this whatsoever. We're going to flip this machine on its side now. We're going to add some screws in the bottom here. I see there's different areas where you can add screws. There's 4 holes here. We're going to use this hole here and probably this guy here. Actually, no, we're using that one. Okay. I don't know what screw goes on where. We're just going to kind of try this out. Probably should get a bigger screwdriver as I'm talking about this nonsense. I don't want to wreck my blade on my little one here. And we're just going to take, whoops, we're going to take this guy and stick it up in here. There we go. And it had at least 2 of these guys on here. Is there anything else that mounts to this? I don't want to just put random screws in random areas here. I think one screw went on the on that collet thing right there. Just gonna dab some oil. I don't know if we oiled this mechanism here enough, especially that pole that everything kind of runs on it. I don't know if that. I truthfully don't know. I'm just going to dab some oil on the gear teeth here as well, and on the ratchet assembly. Yeah, we're really oiling this guy up. And it doesn't matter if it kind of spills out onto the motor, because it all kind of needs it. So this machine runs at a very fast pace, and you know, you don't want to starve this thing of oil here. Okay, there's that collet there. Does this just screw in? It looks like it does. Oh, why are you not in right? Okay, I'm gonna grab a different screw. Yeah, that thing is probably there. Oh, no, that's way too small. Right. Right. And you're asking yourselves, Greg, how did you know that with the other... Yeah, okay, this isn't fitting. Why are you not fitting in there? That's not right. Okay, right now I can't find the screw that goes with this collet. I don't know where that is, but what I want to do now is, just because I've got it, you know, together enough, I'm gonna give our Grafonola here a little test drive here. We're gonna see if it actually does anything. I'm gonna try and wind it up. I'm giving you guys the most optimal view of everything here. Oh. Let's just see what happens here if we just start cranking on it, just ever so slightly. It's the first time it's first time it's been wound in years. About 4 years. Well, it's winding up okay. That's good. Whoa, hello. You're not doing this to me, Grafonola, are you? You're not gonna do it where... Oh, see, now we're running. Is this not... Did I not hook that in right? Oh, oh no. This, oh no. Viewers. At least it's winding right and everything, but what that is right there, we didn't hook the spring barrel on the right way. Goodness gracious. I'll be back. Alright, viewers, we fixed that after taking the spring barrel apart, learning everything was perfectly fine, putting it back together, and getting the screw alignment better, so at least that's one productive thing that happened. We got it together again, and it actually works. What was wrong? This wheel here, the ratchet wheel, was, it wasn't hooked, well, it was hooked around the end of the spring coil there, but it wasn't quite right, so I just kind of I put my gloves on, and I just slowly started winding the machine up and kind of moving the gear ever so slightly. Not that it's super loose in the spot that it's in, but just kind of adjusting it and just slowly kind of playing around with it, and eventually the spring caught properly, and now it actually winds up. So that is terrific. Now what we're going to do is put our... Whoa, I just picked up the motor board here and it just totally threw me off for a second. But as I've just, well, sort of implied, yes, we are putting our motor board on the phonograph. We're putting our phonograph on the motor board because all the speed regulation stuff seems like it'd be smarter to go that route, if that makes any sense. And this thing is heavy. Okay. Are you gonna go on here, right? Or what am I... Hold on. What the heck? Yeah, no, all the speed regulation bits and bobs are kind of... I would say motorboard involved in one way or another. So let's screw our nuts on for that. We should have 3 nuts. Now we'll just screw our nuts on here. Still kind of tight. Yeah, you guys don't really need to be need me to show you this. It's literally adding nuts to this thing. All right, we've screwed the phonograph to the motor board now, and we have added our regulator in. We've just kind of stuck it in there. And I'm just looking for missing pieces and stuff. Here we go. Or not missing pieces, but you know what I mean. Oh, and actually, speaking of missing pieces, our, whatchamacallit, the collet on the winding shaft there, don't know where that screw is. It might turn up, but for now, I'm just leaving it because it seems like it's not that critical of a thing to have. You know, we can live without it. And as for this, is this even fitting? No, it's not. Okay, try the other one. yeah, we're just moving on from that for right now. If I find it, I can easily edit in. There we go. There's a screw for that guy. I'm gonna get this hair out of here. This is one piece I actually didn't clean out of this machine here, and this thing is still supposed to be loose. Yes. Okay. Does anything rub up against here? I don't know. Anyway, let's get that hooked around here. This is interesting. This spring here, it's kind of a fiddly little thing. How does this hook around here now? I'm not even sure. Is it? Okay, viewers, I actually didn't film that because I was having major difficulty, but there's a lip on this little post, and that spring just hooks under the lip. So that's probably about as fine a spring as we're going to be working with throughout this entire project. And now our regulator is back on here. Now I'm not sure how to make it avoid the governor and all that fun jazz. I'm not sure if it's kind of hanging limp. It seems like my weights are hitting both weights, not just one, but both of them seem to be hitting this thing, so not sure. I don't think there's ever supposed to be a point where it's not fully in contact. This thing probably just, you know, ever so slightly adjusts the regulator there. Also, there was a long, narrow screw right about here. I'm not sure what it's for as of yet, but we're gonna put it in, and this is my favorite part of the whole thing, where of course it doesn't go in quite straight because of the motor board. I'm debating if I should loosen that up and just I think I might just loosen this and just install it after. I admit, I was kind of skeptical of putting the motor board on this thing, you know, ASAP, before the thing's actually done, because this thing must have been assembled, you know, before it was on the board. I just thought it might be easier to do it this way, but I guess not. No, I'm just gonna cross thread that to heck there. Okay, we're just gonna unscrew that and get all this nonsense out of the way and just put that on. We've just loosened some of the bolts here and we're just screwing it in. Not too tight, but just enough, you know, just to get her in there. It might be wise to take this guy off of here, actually. Yeah, you know what? That was a mistake. Although the more I get that thing on there, I'm not even sure what the heck it's for, because it's not sticking out through that hole there. Usually these types of screws always stick out in this hole here, but it's not doing that. So I guess I'm just going to leave that there for now. Also, this motor is on the actual motor board, partially for a reference as well, because I see there's a whole bunch of springs and stuff with our speed control system, and I don't know how any of it works right now. so I'm just, yeah, I'm just kind of fumbling around with this, seeing what I can see here. But as for now, viewers, I think I'm gonna leave this here, and I'm not gonna leave you with the satisfaction of seeing how the motor actually runs yet. I'll tell you what, though, it just kind of spins out of control right now, because there's no, well, there wasn't a regulator. Now there is. Otherwise, viewers, I thank you for stopping by, and I will see you in the next part.